want you to imagine that it's like 2021 and I come up to you and I show you this. It seems to be a strange browser, and in the search bar it says, I just lost my job, please can you go to indeed.com, sign in and look for 3 jobs in Belfast that are somewhat related to me based off what you know. So you hit enter and you sit back and relax. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, well if this actually works, that would be pretty crazy, because going and applying for 3 jobs without a CV would take quite a long period of time. You watch as Indeed loads up automatically, you're not doing anything, and you see that this browser is talking and reasoning with itself. It also knows your name and it knows some information about you. It's for AI automation and digital marketing because it knows that I'm skillful in those areas. Looking around, trying to find some jobs. Once it finds the jobs, it then goes over to Google Docs by itself. About 30 seconds, it fires it all together, names the CV and then saves it. You download this file and then tell it to resume. Then jumps back to Indeed to look for some jobs to begin applying for them. You're now at the upload CV section, so you just fire in the one that it made 2 seconds ago. Automatically populates these fields based on what it knows about me. After filling in everything, it then asks for permission before proceeding. Say proceed and hit enter. Then submits the application for you and then goes to try to find some new ones. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? But that's OpenAI's brand new browser that is built off the back of ChatGPT, obviously called Atlas. I've been able to use it for the past 3 or so days, testing it out on my MacBook, and I am a big fan of it. And of course, what I was just using was the agent mode there. Now, the agent mode basically lets ChatGPT take control of your browser, basically take control of your computer. And although ChatGPT did have the agent feature for a few months, the new agent feature built within Atlas is 10 times better. You know, everything was sort of based on one tab. There was a lot of manual work required. It would really just think of a plan and then ask for permission with a lot of things and require you to sign in a lot of the time. And obviously it didn't have the browser memory that ChatGPT Atlas has. What makes the agent mode within Atlas so much better is really the memory and the deep integration. Whenever you allow it to log in to all of your accounts, I mean, it can just go and jump between pretty much any tool that you've looked up, because of course it has memory. You know, it'll track your tasks, it'll track the pages that you have visited, what you're searching within those pages. Sounds a little bit dystopian, but you know, the more data they get, the more efficient it is. So you're able to get really, really vague with the instructions, and because it just knows what you've been doing in the past, it is able to go and execute on them. You know, the agent literally lives in a browser. It's not just given access to a tab. So for example, what you could do is you could tell ChatGPT agent within Atlas to go and look at OtterAI, the AI note taker app. Go and look for recent leads or recent sales calls that went well, summarize the call, add them into your CRM and Notion, and then send them an email follow-up trying to get them booked onto a second call. You wouldn't even have to mention that your CRM's Notion. It would just know that based on what you're searching. That's the kind of level of personalization and memory that we're getting to. Whenever something this smart can literally see exactly what's on your page, it makes your life so much easier. You know, a general rule of thumb for LLMs is the more context that they have, the better they are, right? Have you ever seen, you know, one of those really, really long prompts that you put into ChatGPT for a very specific output, and it is, you know, 5 times better than what it would normally be capable of? This is basically shortening the prompt window, I guess you could call it. The amount of information that we need to give ChatGPT in order for it to do what we want it to do at the highest possible level. Whenever it knows all the tools that you're using, it can see everything that you're doing, and it's tracking everything that you're doing, and it's able to sort of connect the dots between requests. Things are going to get so easy to do really, really complex tasks. So let's dive in. I want to show you a couple more fascinating use cases of agent mode within Atlas, and also just regular ChatGPT that's baked into the browser of Atlas. So let's go. So we can see I'm on ChatGPT Atlas and I've got a game of chess loaded up. Now don't worry, this is a bot. This is not a real person that I'm playing, but I'm just going to say to ChatGPT agent, play this game of chess for me and win. You are white, go. Now, the real reason why I'm showing you this is just to show you what this browser is actually capable of. Watch this and think about what ChatGPT agent within Atlas will be able to do within a year or so, provided you actually use it and you give it information about yourself and you allow it to be personalized. Any sort of basic admin task, you know, that you would do online, something to do with like your home, your property, your car, insurance, things of this sort of nature, booking a holiday, all of these admin tasks, it will be able to do effortlessly with just a single prompt. It won't even have to, you know, follow up, you know, what's your address, what's your phone number, which card should I use? It'll just know everything, which in a way is a little bit scary if you don't like the idea of your all your data being out there. But it's also exciting in the way that it's going to be so easy to do things that would, you know, before take ages. I think we got like a recaptcha coming up because I'd imagine this is breaching literally every single one of chess.com's guidelines. So I'll go and I'll show you another cool example. Okay, so now I bring you to Canva. Now here I'm just saying we are on Canva, design me a logo for Efficacy AI's AI Learning Center. And now my point here is with Atlas, this is the first like true step towards everybody having access to like a genuine personal assistant. Now take a moment to think about ChatGPT whenever it first came out, okay? it didn't know anything about you, and it was just good at, writing like email copy and doing very, very basic tasks. Okay. Now think about how vastly different ChatGPT is now, because the main thing that ChatGPT has is memory. It has the best memory out of every single LLM out there by far. It's the most capacity, and it is the best at retrieving that information. Now, Alex Hormozi, which a lot of you probably know, talks about this concept, which is basically to measure someone's skill or someone's competence. If you ask them to do something, how long does it take them to complete that task? And in between that time, how many questions are they asking you? How much micromanagement is needed? The quicker it takes them to do it, and the less sort of like follow-ups and questions that they need, obviously indicates that they're much more skillful and they're competent. Now, I see a very similar thing happening with ChatGPT here. Whenever the AI models not only get smarter, but whenever they have way more context about who it actually is that you are, as much information about you, that's whenever they're going to be able to perform the best. These models will no longer need to ask constant follow-up questions, right? They'll just know everything about you. And very, very few very skillful and niche jobs will be safe from this. The point is, it's pretty crazy. The point is that it can fully take control and automate things that before would have taken a very long time. And this is only going to get better so fast. Now, while that's running, I'll show you another couple cool features with Atlas. Okay, so whenever you first install Atlas, this is what you will see. Very familiar here to Google and also to ChatGPT. We can see here we've got all of our tabs, all of our projects and recent chats like normal ChatGPT. This basically looks identical to ChatGPT, except we have more tabs up here. As you can see, you can open them. And obviously, whenever you search, it acts more as a browser rather than as, an LLM, unless you wanted to. So you can load up websites and search through everything just okay. So I'll ask ChatGPT, what is this? And see, before you would have to, maybe copy some text, you would have to grab a screenshot, you would need to give it much more context. We're closing that window. Now this, plus its memory and any sort of complex task that you need to do online, literally makes there zero brain power required to get a task done. I know I'm repeating myself, but really just try to extrapolate on what this is actually capable of. Now, whenever we hit this little plus icon, we can see all the tools here that are, most of them are in regular ChatGPT. A few new ones are add tabs and then browser memory as well. And then we've got tab search. So tab search is basically you're able to look through recent tabs. So for example, if I said Indeed, we can see Indeed, all of the recent tabs from whenever I was able to get it to apply for some jobs for me earlier in the video. We can also add a tab into the chat, for example, Canva, the one that is working on. So I'll say, what's going on here, question mark. We've got a Canva design open titled Efficacy AI's logo. Obviously what's going on is ChatGPT, agent mode is building that logo and it's able to see it without even going there. So there's also bars up here at the top that you will see, which are not on regular ChatGPT. We've got search, images, videos, and news, very, very similar to Google. We've got the actual raw URLs here, the links. It is using Google, as you can see. YouTube is going to be pretty much all of the videos, I would imagine. Yep. And then images here, Google Images, same sort of thing. What's going on here? And then news as well. All very familiar. So in summary, ChatGPT is literally just with you everywhere, okay? And the context window is shortened a lot. For example, in this horrendously spelled email, I can just, highlight it, press that, and then say fix, boom, and then done in 2 seconds. The point is, you don't need to go back and forth to ChatGPT with so many things. Update, and then boom, it's done. Highlight, boom, Spanish, enter, wait 2 seconds, and then it's done. There it is, update. See what I mean? So I would urge you all to try to use this platform as much as possible and, obviously give it as much data that you are comfortable with that is just going to help you. Don't reveal anything personal to ChatGPT if you don't want to. I'm just saying in the context of your work environment, give it some information, give it some context of what tools you normally use, where you usually are on the web, and allow it to help you because it's going to make your life so much easier. I'll give you another quick example. I was looking to build a new website for my business, my AI agency, Efficacy AI, and sort of like an interactive SaaS hybrid website with a lead magnet on it. And I was using Lovable to build this. Obviously, very, very good tool. Highly recommend it. And I had actually just put ChatGPT in agent mode, gave it a load of context about what it is that I am looking for in this new website, and just said, go consult with Lovable. And just click on the little text box and just you prompt it yourself. So ChatGPT, I left it for like 25 minutes, had actually built pretty much exactly what it was I was looking for. Say it with me, the context window has been shortened massively and it's going to get much shorter, okay? And it's going to get so much better. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. I know this wasn't sort of like a tutorial. I don't really think it needs a tutorial. Everybody knows how to use it. I think anyone trying to make a tutorial is just trying to milk it. I just wanted to share my thoughts on what the bigger picture looks like of Atlas when everybody starts using it. But thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.